Hi Leo, welcome to your energy reading. It is my pleasure to read for you, as you know. And as you know, you don't have to have any significant Leo placements. I almost said Leonic. Leonine placements in your natal chart in order for this reading to be for you. And you don't have to be watching this video at the time that I'm publishing it for the messages to be for you. If it resonates, then chances are there's something for you. But you're a real G, so you understand, use your discernment, not only with what you hear here, but with what you hear in your everyday life. And on top of that, if something does not resonate, but it has manifested itself before you, there is something for you. It just may not be exactly making itself known to you at your conscious mind level. So step away, then come back a little bit later and see if anything resonates then. All right, so that being said, if you'd like to work more personally with me, you know, we do teaching, healing, mentoring, all of it on all levels of your field. So you know exactly where to find me, and just look for my Etsy link on this page wherever you're watching this video. All right, so ding, that was easy. Whatever that is, and sure, we'll take you. So Leo, as we get started in your energy, the first thing I felt was psh, a slap across the face. It's stunning. See how my lips are like stumbling over my words. Like boom, a slap across your face. You're the one getting slapped here, energetically, of course. And then yeah, it's a. Well, let me feel into it again. There was some words with it, but I forgot what it was. It was so quick. I can't remember if the words were "you should have known better" or something, or "how dare you." There's something like this. There's an indignation that comes with that slap, and I just see you holding your cheek. So whatever's going, oh, I get it. Oh, well, those are feelings too, but the specific words are "you're such a jerk" or "you're a jerk." What's going on? So from what I'm gathering here, it feels like there may be something that you come up against energetically. This is what it feels like. You come up against, and it doesn't have to actually be another person. It could be you simply reading information about a review about you, or you're reading something after the fact, and 2 minutes 22 seconds you're able to see your performance in a certain arena. Whatever it is, you have this realization that, oh my God, I was a jerk or I wasn't, and these are just the words that are being used, the energetic words, so I'm not actually calling you that. Or it's maybe you, on the milder side, it's like, wow, I could have done things differently, or oh, I was actually pretty wrong here, or I was off here, or something like that is not happening here. Now, what I'm getting is, for some of you, if you are looking at something where there was a miscommunication, and it totally seemed fine at the time, but in hindsight, you're like, oh, I was wrong, or whatever. I'm getting that what has happened is there may have been an energetic shift going on in some way. You know, there was a shift that happened, and so now as you look at it in hindsight, some frequencies have changed or something going on here. But I'm also getting, this is not necessarily the case, but maybe for 1 to 3 people here, I don't know, it seems very, very minimal, but maybe like 1 to 3 people. Maybe you were too lackadaisical with something that you were doing. Maybe you were too cavalier. You weren't paying attention to something, dotting your I's, crossing your T's, or maybe you what's the word? Underexpected. I can't think of the word. There's so many words flying at me, but underestimated, thank you, what it is that you needed. But either way, yeah, here's the grief card, and we have the Queen of Earth card. The beautiful thing, now you and the guys know that I'm using these cards, they're tarot and everything, but you know, I don't really, I read intuitively. So if you're reading the words here and if something matches for you, go ahead with it, but I'm going to just read energetically, so it may or may not align with what you're seeing on the card. But what I'm seeing here is magician energy in the aftermath. So whatever it is that you find out now that you've made a mistake about, or miscalculated or miscommunicated, or whatever it is in hindsight, I'm getting that you're in a position now where you can make amends. Amends is the word that's actually coming out. I was going to say repairs or something, but the word amends is coming out. Now, if you are dealing with a contract, then obviously you know what it means to amend something, and then it's just a matter of changing the terms or rewriting the terms. If it has something to do with somebody who was hurt, in the process. And yes, it could also be about you hurting yourself in the process, right? Because those are the parts of you that, you know, often show up in our private sessions, and we have these discussions with those parts of you. So please remember that your selves, your fragmented selves, your wounded selves, your inner selves, all of those things, all those beings, they have consciousness, right? They have personalities, things like that. So, you know, you want to tread lightly, and that's why all the healing that we're doing is allowing for soul integration. So all of these parts of you can finally be seen by you, and then accepted and pulled into wholeness, right? And so then you'll have less and less of these parts of you. But anyway, you may have to make amends, meaning apologize, you know, speak your truth, share in an empathetic moment with somebody or with yourself, whatever this is. But this is very fixable is what I'm getting. Now, let's take a look at the grief that's coming out here. I just want to like do this. Throw it off the table because it almost feels as though it's nothing. Now, I want to like, and so I'm like, detach it from this situation because it almost feels like there's no grief, right? And you know, on some level of the field, when we're reading at a higher level of the field, there is no such thing as grief and all of these things because all is one, and we remember all the farcical nature of the earthly life that we're living. We understand it, and so things that, you know, bugged us at some point no longer bug us because now we know all. It all makes sense. But while we're still within the realms that adhere to a dualistic or duality or polarity kind of mainframe, then you can have then you will have lots of misperceptions, and so therefore, understandably, because you believe in what is happening to you and to other people and in the world, you will have experiences like grief and sadness and guilt and shame, and those things seem natural here, but they're not real in all that is. They're just not real because there's nothing to actually be ashamed about and such. When you look at your soul chart, you're like, oh, okay, so I actually wanted this or signed off on this because I wanted to have an experience. All of a sudden, what you saw as, whatever you saw it as, makes no sense. But for the sake of this conversation, we see these two cards. Here's that one, and these two cups. We see this one cup, and then we see this more vague cup. So this is what I'm seeing, this teetering here in your consciousness, where on the one hand, oh, this is real, this guilt or this shame that I've been carrying or whatever, this grief, but then on another hand, you also see it's not real. So what I would like to see more of is you doing more of the inner work, more of the shadow work, more of the self-acceptance. If you never take anything away from the work that, you know, my team and I do and bring to you guys, if you never watch another video again, if you forget my name altogether, and if you forget the word Janelli Bean, because I love that word so much, I want you to take away one thing. At the end of the day, self-acceptance is your key. Self-acceptance is love. You must love yourself, because the whole issue that's got you all the way you are now, not just you, everybody, the whole issue boils down to one thing: denial of the self. So the more that you go beyond the stupid programming that we've been subjected to in this lifetime and many lifetimes, and you can one by one shoot those things down and see the reality that of your okayness and your innocence and your awesomeness. In other words, accepting yourself, accepting the worst things that you think are true about yourself, then you literally are repairing the self in the non-physical where it matters. And then what must fall into alignment is the physical reality. It just must, because the physical reality is just taking orders. That's all it is. It's just carbon copy of what is going on in the non-physical. And what's driving your non-physical state is your belief system. And if you believe that you are not good enough and that you've done something wrong and you deserve to be punished and this and that, and these are wounds that go back. It's not just from this lifetime, but every lifetime it's reinforced, right? But if you can really change that, and you know, it may take a little time, but chip away at it, then you will start to see that things that you took for real and as for holding you back and things that were the cause of your unforgiveness of other people, right? Will start to just dissolve. They're not real. And so that's what we're seeing here, right? But in order to get to that place, you must do the inner work. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Look, if there are corners to cut, I would let you know, because I'd be out here cutting them so fast. So fast. So I'm just not here for the extra hard work, okay? Cute. Look at that. Don't play. The unis didn't come to play. Look at what they said. An illusion of being trapped, a lack of self-confidence, afraid to take action. Thank you, unis. This is the Eight of Air. This is the Eight of Swords. Now, we know the Eight of Swords card. We love it. We love the Eight of Swords card. Why do we love it? It's actually not a fun card, but it talks about mental prison. That's it. It's a mental prison. So the nuance and the caveat of the Eight of Swords, which is why I said we like it, is that it's blaring that it's your own perception that is keeping you in that space. So Leo, or whoever you are, God bless your buttons. Ding. Yeah, this one. Oh, I guess that one. And then this one. What is this? Ooh, I love that. It's a heavy hitter. Let's see this one. Six of Fire. Don't play. That's the victory card. You can do this. Look at the Moon card. The Moon card here in this reading is representing your stuff. What's your stuff? Your fears. The things that you fear is what you need to delve into, because that's where you see what you're denying. In other words, what you're not looking at, what you're choosing on some level of your field, maybe not the conscious mind level. On some level of your field, you're choosing not to acknowledge something or a couple of things. And I love that this card is showing up here, because it's like, here it is, here I am. And I love that. The Nine of Earth cards or the Nine of Pentacles card is coming through here to remind you that it's you. You take the steps forward. You have to make the decision on some level of your field. Like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Doggone it. I'm going to prioritize myself. I'm going to throw my money behind it. I'm going to throw my time behind it. And I'm going to mute everybody and their mom and their cute little dogs who are trying to be ops right now. If they're not here to assist me, or to not even assist you, because it's something you have to do for yourself, as we see here, but if they're not here to support this internal individual journey that I'm choosing to do for my own health and well-being, then guess what? They're not a part of this journey. Now, that doesn't mean that you got to be like, hey to mom and dad, and then just storm out. It means prioritize yourself. If you know you can't trust certain people with some type of information, because they're going to just tear it all apart with their lack of belief, then you don't share it with them. Plain and simple. And if you're at the place where it's like, but Jay, I've got to share everything. Well, I got to tell you, you have to work on being yourself. You have to work on your independence. Because now we're getting into the role of codependence. Why can't you do this for yourself? Do you see what I'm saying? And so maybe your step before you really step into this independence here is to look at your codependence. And if you remember in the Gemini reading, they were talking about who are you when everything is out of the way. A lot of people have this happen to them. They call it a midlife crisis, or they call it other times in their life where everything hits the fan. They have friends who are too scarce now, or family members who've turned their backs. Long story short, they find themselves alone. What are you going to do when you're alone? That's the testament. And you're alone. Do you get up and brush your teeth? Do you go outside and exercise? Do you keep up with the beauty of your home? All these things, is it really you? Because a lot of times we do these things and we keep on these treadmills of presenting ourselves simply because we have other people who come into our space. And it could be as simple as, oh, I don't want this person to see my sweater lying around, so I'm going to put it up. But if you knew that nobody was going to be coming by, everybody was on lockdown, or everybody's gone and from your life, you would probably have mounds of clothes all around, and you'd probably not shower for like 10 days, or I don't know who you are, but you get my point. So it's time to start looking at who you really are. Get still and look at that, and then consider, Where is the tension? Can you go a few days without like being on the phone, without sharing your issues, without talking to someone, without telling somebody about something you read? Can you? Where is the codependency in your life? Because right now you're being called to heal yourself, and I see the victory is already here, which tells me that it's already happened on some level. So whoosh, for all of us, okay? Mwah.